we are going to discuss about procedures and functions. Stored procedures or functions or subroutines, we can also call it as. Okay, so now let us discuss what is function first. Then we'll discuss what is procedure, how to create procedures, and how to run procedures in MySQL database. First, let us start discussing what is function. Function is a group of statements. So what kind of statements can we have as part of the function? We can have some variable declarative statements, and we can also perform some processing statements, and we can also use DML statements as part of the function. Functions can also be used to get the data from the tables and process it and then print the output. Now let us see first what is the syntax for creating a function, and let us create a very simple function using MySQL, and then let us run it. Yes. Function in MySQL is a group of statements. Group of statements to perform a task. Function is the one which always returns a value. So we must specify a function which optionally takes parameters but returns a value. Now we'll see how to create a function in MySQL. Syntax for creating function: create function, function name. We can give a list of parameters. Parameters are variable declarations. They are local variables for that function. It is not mandatory to have parameters for every function. We declare if it is required. Otherwise, we need not declare it. But every function returns a value of particular type. So we need not specify what value it returns, but we need to specify what type of value it is going to return. Now let us see this. Yes, now you can see a syntax here. Function is a group of statements to perform a task and which returns a value. Create function, function name, parameters, and returns a value of particular type. We need to specify type of value it returns. We should not specify what value it returns, because what it is going to return is depending on what value you pass at the time of calling function. And we use a keyword called deterministic. We use this for functions to specify that it is going to return a value and it is going to take a parameter. Now, to start writing statements, we need to use a keyword called begin. So after a begin keyword, you can write some statements, variable declarations as well. If you want to declare variables, we need to use declare and variable declaration, variable name and data type. We can also specify size if it is of type varchar. Here we can write some statements where we can perform some mathematical operations, or we can also write some DML statements. Those statements we can write here, and then end. So here, one more thing we should remember at the time of creating our own function or a procedure, we need to specify delimiter. Delimiter is a symbol which terminates the execution of which terminates the creation of particular function or procedure. If we don't give delimiter, default delimiter is the symbol which sends it for execution. So for example, if I type select star from EMP or any table name, if I give semicolon at the end, press enter key, it will be sent for the execution of that particular statement. If you press enter key without giving semicolon, the system assumes that you are still typing some more words to finish that particular statement. So here delimiter, we must change delimiter, because semicolon is the default delimiter. Here in procedure or a function, we are writing a set of instructions which terminate with a semicolon. Here if we don't change the delimiter, so the execution of or the creation of the function or procedure will not be taken place properly. So we must use delimiter. Now the delimiter symbol is // double slash. Whenever we give double slash, then that is the end of the statement, end of the complete statement. So we have changed delimiter here from semicolon to double slash. Then we need to create function or a procedure, then end double slash. After creating function or a procedure, we need to change the delimiter from double slash to semicolon. To do that, we use this instruction. In order to execute a collection of statements, we must change delimiter. Okay, now we'll see one example for creating a function and we will execute it. To execute a function, we need to use select statement. Select, we need to use function name. Function name and just pass values. Values separated by comma. And that ends with semicolon. Now, as per this particular syntax, we'll create a function which returns square of a number. We pass a number and a function which returns square of a number. Let us create it. For that, first we need to create a statement. We need to write a statement which will change delimiter from semicolon to double slash. Delimiter, create function. Function name is get square. The variable name is num, is of type int, and this function returns int type of value. Begin. Let us declare one variable. Declare SQR of type int. Now we need to calculate square of the given number and assign it to SQR variable. We can do that in one of two ways. One is using set keyword. Set SQR equal to NUM into NUM. This is the one way we can do. Or we can also do the same using select statement. Select NUM into NUM. Into is the keyword which sends the result of the expression to particular variable. Means it assigns the resultant value of the expression to a variable. So the variable is SQR. We can use set SQR equal to num into num or select the expression which calculates square of the number into variable name to which we want to assign it to. And then return SQL. End. This is the end of the function. Now let us change delimiter from double slash to semicolon. Delimiter semicolon. Now let us log into MySQL and let us create a function and execute it. Log into MySQL command line. Password is root. Now we need to connect to one of the databases. To view list of databases, show databases. These are the list of databases available. Now let us connect to ONDB. Connect ONDB. It's connected. Now here we create MySQL function and execute it. We need not type it because we have already typed in a text editor. So we better have that code in a text editor and we can simply copy and paste it at MySQL prompt. We can also directly type these lines of code in MySQL prompt, but there will be a problem if we do any mistake at the time of typing. So it is always better to have one text document where we have code. We can easily change the code and simply copy and paste it at MySQL prompt. Now let us just copy this code and paste it at MySQL prompt. Yes, delimiter changed, function created, query OK, 0 was affected. This indicates that function is created successfully. Now delimiter has to be changed. Yes, delimiter changed to semicolon. Now we need to call this getSquare function. At the time of calling this function, we need to pass a number and that returns square of the number. Now let us see the result. To call a function, we need to use select statement, function name, and if there are parameters, you can pass some values to those parameters. Now to execute this getSquare function, select getSquare of 10. You can see the result here. It displays 100. GetSquare of 10 displays 100. Let us try to call the same function by passing different value. GetSquare of 5. It returns 25. This is how we can create a function and we can call function using select statement. We can also remove function using drop statement. Drop function, function name. To remove function or to delete that function completely, we can use drop function, function name, just function name semicolon. We need not use parenthesis. Now let us drop the function that we have created. Function name is get square. Yes, function got dropped. Let us see MySQL prompt here. Yes, as you can see here, we have created a function get square that is executed, that is created successfully. Now we need to call this function. To call this function, select get square of 100. You can see the result there. Let us call the same function with a different input. Yes, get square of 5, that is 25. This is how we can call a function. If you want to remove function, drop function, function name. Function got dropped. It is removed from the database. This is how we can create a new function, call it, and remove that function. As part of the function, we can also use programming constructs like conditional statements, looping statements as well. Now let us see one function where it takes a number and returns even if the given number is even, returns odd if the given number is odd. Let us see how to write a function to do the same thing. Let us change delimiter from semicolon to double slash. We have changed delimiter. Now create function name even or odd. Even or odd, which takes a number of type int, returns varchar of size 10. Now declare a variable which stores even or odd. Declare result of type varchar 10. Now we need to write a conditional statement which stores even word into result if the given number is even, or storing odd word into the result if the given number is odd. Now to write if statement, we use if keyword, then a condition which checks even or odd. So we can use mod function. This is predefined function which takes number divided by 2. If the result is 0, it is even. If the result is not 0, then it is odd. So we have a keyword called then. We should use this keyword after condition check. This is condition. After condition, then now we can use set keyword to assign value to the variable result. Set result equal to even in single quotes, else set result odd. End if semicolon. So conditional statement ends with end if. Function ends with end word. Here function ends. So before ending the function, we need to return result. Now, then we need to change delimiter from double slash to semicolon. This is the function which takes a number, returns word even or odd based on the condition, result of the condition. Now let us create this function. Yes. As you can see now, function is created successfully. Function name is even or odd, which returns even if it is even, otherwise returns odd. Now, to call this function, select even or odd, just pass a number. We have passed 10, which returns even. If we pass 11, it returns odd. This is how we can create a function which returns varchar type of value and accepts integer type of value. We can use this kind of if conditions for data processing. Now let us see one more function which returns boolean if it is even. So let us say, for example, if we are in search of even numbers, I want to return 1 if it is even, and I want to return 0 if it is not even. A function can also return boolean type of values. Let us see one function which returns boolean type of value. Function that returns 1 if the given number is even, otherwise return 0. Now let us see how to write function for this. Now we'll do a couple of things same, that is changing delimiter. You change delimiter to double slash, create function. Function name is even, which takes a number of type int and returns boolean. Begin, end of the function. So between begin and end, we need to write some statements which returns boolean value. So we can declare a variable of type boolean, result boolean, and we can use set keyword or select statement to store the result of comparison into result variable. So we can also use select mod of number given number comma 2 equal to 0 into result, we can assign this way, or we can also do the same thing using set statement. Set result equal to mod of num comma 2 equal to 0 here. We can assign using if statement, if mod of num comma 2 equal to 0, then say return return 1, else return 0. So instead of writing these many lines of code, we can do it in a very easier and simpler way. We can directly write one statement without any extra variables. We can simply say return mod of num comma 2 equal to 0. Change delimiter from double slash to semicolon. Let us try to execute this. Yes, as you can see here, function is created by name is even, which returns boolean and returns the result of this particular expression. Now to call this function, just say select is even, just pass a number. As it is even, it returns 1. If it is not even, it returns 0. This is how we can create a function which returns boolean type of value. Now let us discuss about procedures, how to create stored procedures and how to execute stored procedures. Stored procedures are also types of functions. There is a slight difference between function and procedure. Procedure does not return any value implicitly. We have to write some statements. We have to specify out parameters to return values from procedure. If we talk about function and procedure, function is the one which always returns a value. Procedure optionally returns value. Function can return at most one value. Procedure can return 0 or more values. That depends on how we create procedure. Now we'll see how to create a simple procedure and execute it. To create procedure, syntax is create is a keyword called procedure, and we have to give procedure name and a list of parameters separated by comma. Begin, and we can declare variables. And we can write some statements. And this is how we create procedure. Syntax for creating procedure. Now let us create one procedure to print double of a number. Create procedure. Procedure name is get double, which takes a number of type int. Begin. Now select num plus num, number plus the same number. Now we need to change delimiter. Again change after creating procedure, change delimiter to semicolon. Now this is a procedure which prints double of a given number. So we are using select statement directly here. We are not using any other variable. We can declare one variable and assign the result of this to the another variable, and we can say select that variable name. Instead, we are using select statement directly with an expression, and the resultant value of this expression will be printed directly. This procedure is not returning anything. It's just taking integer value and prints the double of that number. Now let us run this. Yes, as you can see, procedure creation was successful. Now we need to call this procedure. To execute this procedure or to call this procedure, we have a keyword called call. call procedure name get double of, say, let us say 10. So let's pass 10. Now the double of 10 is 20. We say double of 20 is 40. You can also call it more than once. Get double of 20. So the first innermost call take place. So this will return 40. So again get double of 40, it returns 80. Yeah, there is some error here. Yeah, because it is not returning. So if it is giving some value, we can call it. Yeah. This is how we can call procedures. Procedure can have three types of parameters. Procedure can have three types of parameters. The first one is in parameter. Second one is out parameter. Third one is in out parameter. And in parameter is the default. We don't specify anything. The default type of parameter is in parameter. Now have a look at types of parameters here. In parameter, it is a default one, out parameter, and in out parameter. In parameters are used for taking values at the time of calling procedure. Out parameter is to send those values outside procedure for further operations. In out parameter is the one which behaves as in parameter and out parameter as well. The same variable, local variable, is used for taking values and also sending values outside procedure. Now we'll see one example using out parameter. Let us say, for example, I need to, let us say, create a procedure which returns half of the number using out parameter. Half of the given number. Change delimiter to double slash. Create procedure at half, which takes number and we can also specify in here. Default there is in. If you don't specify in, is in will be there by default. So out result of type int. First one is in parameter and the second one is out parameter. This procedure receives value using in parameter and gives value using out parameter. Begin. Now select half of the number. So num divides by 2 into result. So we are storing half of the given number into result. Then end. Change delimiter to semicolon. This is a procedure which returns half of the given number. Now, to execute this, to call this procedure, we need to use call keyword. Call procedure name is get half of number. Suppose if I pass 10, it should return 5. So first value that we are sending goes to number. Now second, we need to specify a variable result. This is how we need to call a procedure which has in parameter and out parameter. This will not display any value. To display value, to display result, result will be stored in result variable. So say select at result. This will display the result that is returned using procedure. Now let us just create this procedure first. Yes, procedure created. Now to call this procedure, call get half 10 comma result. Says query OK. It will not display the value. Value is stored in result at the rate result variable. So to see the result, say select result. Result is the name of the variable that we are binding. So we can use any name in place of result. You can see value is 5. What we have passed is 10. So half of this number is 5. So 5 is stored in result. This is how we can use in parameters, out parameters, and we can also use in out parameters. We just try with this in out parameters. It is very easy to understand. Yes, I hope you have understood how to create a function and how to create a procedure in MySQL. We'll meet with a new topic in the next session.